Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Depending on where you are, we have, if you look out the back, a bit of snow. Can't say I'm happy because I am ready for spring and summer, and that means pie and wonderful. There's pie in the winter too. Today we're doing a special. It's about pie, but for a different reason. Y'all know John Hinman, Hinman Pie. No plural. Dini's Divine Pie. And DC, well, actually, you're out of DC, aren't you, the bakery?
Yep, just outside, just a suburb of Washington, D.C., in
And
Rockville, Maryland.
I can get through McCullough, but there's no way. Give your
McCullough, Amosorrutia.
Amosorutia,
just like
Amosorrutia.
I would.
Amosorutia, Amosorutia, Amosorutia. I got it.
It's a good Mexican Irish name.
I would never have gotten. But being that we are doing LA Pie Day or Pie for you do it. Go, Dini, John. I'm sitting back and tell us about this fabulous idea that you all came up with and are progressing around the country.
Okay.
Go,
John?
Dini.
Me. Okay. So, not long ago, I got to know John through Instagram. We are Instagram friends. And fast forward a few months, and we're having a conversation, and the news is that, these wildfires are raging in Los Angeles. And so I called him up and I said, it would be cool if we did some sort of a fundraiser so that we could help out some of the bakeries that I'm sure are being impacted. And January is a difficult month in general for the restaurant and pastry business because it's kind of slow and people are done eating lots of treats. So I just felt that, if wildfires were happening here, or even when it snows here in Washington, it impacts my business. And that was kind of the impetus for thinking about how we might come together and support some of those businesses in Los Angeles. And so then John said, well, we're not really going to raise much between the two of us, so maybe we can get people around the country to do this with us. And that's how LA or PieDay for LA was born. And John, you can take it from there if you want.
Oh, you nailed it. Um, yeah, Pie Day for LA. I love this idea of we're going to collect a bunch of bakers from around or pie makers, excuse me, from around the country, and we're all going to roll dough in one direction towards LA. And then Pie Day is coming up. That's March 14th. So put it on all your calendars and order a pie from your local participating pie company. And you can even get them on Goldbelly if you buy a Wix pie. You can support us that way. And then a portion of our proceeds will be going to support the baking community in LA who has suffered from the fire. So kind of like all of us little pieces of pie getting together to make one big, great pie story to benefit LA. So um, we've been working pretty hard to get that done. And between our own businesses and learning how to do internet shorts and trying to find corporate sponsors to back us, we've been a little nutty. But, it's for something great. And I'm excited to be doing it, especially in this odd time of America. It feels good to be doing something and something good.
Well, it's interesting to me that the two of you have maybe more Dini. No, you've done some too. Have rounded up like a board of
Yes.
people from around the country.
Yes.
I mean, you got very interesting. Tell a little bit about different people from different fields.
So, I mean, I think part of, well, I want to say first that John comes to this with his experience founding Chow, which he
Yeah.
can tell me a bit more about. And so he has experience creating a nonprofit organization that serves people. And I have experience as an attorney. I'm a former public interest lawyer. That was my entire career before I left it to dedicate myself to making pie. But I think saying that is relevant because we didn't just have an idea and kind of, we both had experience and context for how to create something like this. I mean, it's right now, this is a project. And as you heard John say, the way that it works is that pie makers and pie companies from around the country will donate a percentage of proceeds between Valentine's Day and Pie Day. And after that, there's a lot of work to kind of figure out where the money goes. So John and I both knew that if we were going to do this the right way, that we needed to have a sounding board, an advisory board made up of people from different parts of the country, people who have robust networks in the pie industry and just in general. And so that's the advisory board. And then also we got a fiscal sponsor so that we have a nonprofit organization that's managing the money. We set up a website. We've been working with volunteers who are helping us with the social media marketing as well. And so I think in order for this to really be effective, we have to have those structures in place. And that was the inspiration for all of it, but also the board. And so you're on the board. We have a filmmaker from Los Angeles. We have a documentary filmmaker and cookbook author from Iowa, Beth Howard. We have a former NFL Super Bowl champ, Ricky Irvins, who on the side, he also makes sweet potato pie. He has a little sweet potato pie business.
He's a sweet potato man.
He is a sweet potato man. He is very cool. I mean,
he's so nice.
Yeah. And then we have John
Lendorf.
You all know. And and Stacy, who is also who's a cookbook author as well. And
she wrote 50 Pies in 50 States. She's from Brooklyn.
That's right. And then we have Taj as well.
Yep.
Right? So, and you guys know Taj.
Well, because I think what you're doing is fabulous. Getting it together in this short of notice and making it happen is wonderful. And John and I don't think we're telling tales out of school, happened to be with a lady we fondly call Loca, who owns Working Class and she is with Casa Bonita. And I guess her partner works for the guys from Casa Bonita as well. And when she finished telling the destruction of their homes in LA and Pasadena, I mean, they have to totally rebuild. These are guys, it's not going to affect my house, but it doesn't matter whether you're very poor or very, very wealthy. I mean, I don't mean you're not raising money for them, but just the destruction.
No, I couldn't believe the destruction she was talking about last night too. And that they would have to pay for it all, because everything was so unique, and the insurance company would only give them money for the land, right?
Well, we are, I'm glad that you said that, because we are focusing on communities that are more sort of historically marginalized, low income, middle income businesses, people who, really don't have resources to draw on, like maybe some of the more affluent areas might. And of course, smaller businesses, smaller bakeries that aren't part of large corporations. I mean, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about these bakeries as companies that are similarly situated as
you all. Right.
Yeah. So like these are our people. I mean, that's who we are. I mean, we don't know them yet, but you know what I mean? These are people that I imagine myself being in their shoes very easily. And so I think
and I've been complaining all week because, selfishly complaining, let me say, because we're slow too. And it's like, God, how are we going to raise enough money, even just to raise enough money to keep our doors open, let alone kick some money over to Florida or California. I'm sorry. So, we do have a donate button on PieDayForLA.org. So if you're just watching this and you love pie and you want to help California, please hit the donate button, because, we need, we're doing the heavy lifting, but we need your support too, please.
Okay. Also, excuse me, and Dini, you take it from here, but explain that if somebody has money to donate, great. If you have anything to do with the business, if you make a pie or even bakery wants to join in for whatever they're doing that day, they can do it not all, but a percentage of what they can afford.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, that ties right into what I was, John made me think of that. So there's no, we're flexible in terms of what
Right.
people can donate. Maybe it's 5% of proceeds on just one day during the month, or maybe it's the entire month and it's 15% of the proceeds. That's really up to each individual company. But one of the things I wanted to mention too is that, I think this is an opportunity for everybody to benefit in a way. I mean, the companies that participate in this, that it elevates their profile in a way too, because they are, contributing to the community, but consumers know that they're making purchases that are socially responsible. And I think that is good for everyone. It's good for the country, for
I
us to support
agree.
each other. It's good to support small business in general. So
16.
I think this project is a win-win, and for everyone, really.
And if it's
Like
a
farmer's market.
great, but even, you say one thing, but a coffee shop who may sell a pie, they may decide, well, on one day or a day, it's good for them. And anything is going to benefit.
Exactly. Yep. We may not raise millions of dollars in the end, maybe we will, but I think,
But the goal is 3.14. The goal is 3.14. So, if you got an extra million laying around, we got you covered.
And I think, John and I have talked about this too. Like, this is a very finite project right now, but there are natural disasters that happen all over the country, and businesses, this really hurts people. When there aren't resources to uplift those businesses after floods or after, whatever kind of natural disaster.
Tornado loss.
Right. And it's a little different because we're raising money for small businesses. We're not necessarily raising money for a charitable organization, which is part of the reason why we have a fiscal sponsor that's a 501c4 that enables us to guide those dollars to small businesses versus, maybe a community-based organization that's already a nonprofit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. And I enjoy giving back to our community the most, Gabby, because how many events over the years have we done together? And I've raised money for cancer. I've raised money for kids. I've raised money for school books. I've raised money to send. But, a lot of the times, when disasters happen, who shows up first every time? The restaurant community.
They do.
And whoever shows up for the restaurant community, when there's a disaster, people do support us with funding. But overall, we're always the first community to show up. So
yeah, we have a very unique. The reason I'm married to the restaurant community for 50 years is they don't turn me down. They come and they help, no matter how poor, no matter what's going wrong, they're there to help.
Yeah. And we're getting to a point where it's time for the restaurant community to help the restaurant community,
Well, they know it. And
yeah.
I think at this point, with everything, we have every restaurant has horrible problems right now.
Yep.
And those in Denver, unfortunately, Dini, we have an enormous tax thing going on that is ridiculous with minimum wage, which is putting everybody out of business. So there's a big fight going on here, which at least the legislature did vote last night in our favor, finally. So
yep, 2 more to go.
Yeah, oh yeah. But as you all know, you never say no. And nope. I never get over it, how wonderful the restaurant people are. They're all my kids. Okay, but now
I think people realize, it's hard work and we know what it takes. So yeah. I think we know when we see other people struggling, we're going to step in.
Oh, you all are fabulous. Okay, but give details of what the general public who's watching. There may be some restaurateurs watching, but there could be a guy who owns a gym or a guy who just goes out to eat or whoever's a foodie. So just give in what to do no matter what.
Go for it, Dini.
Okay. Okay. So any pie lover can go to our website and look at the list of participating pie makers. And if there's one in your area, go there and buy pie. That is one way to support what we're doing. Another way would be if you go to the list and you don't see someone from your community on that list, please ask them to check out piedayforla.org and ask them to submit the form, and we'll get them signed up. And we're providing all of the participating pie makers with social media assets and some other things that will help them market what they're doing. And then I think if you are someone who, maybe you don't like pie, maybe you're a cake person.
Oh,
It's true. We have to be open and to that
okay.
possibility. So if you're a cake person, but you still want to support what we're doing, you can go to the website and make a donation.
Even
And
a bread guy.
what's
Even a
that?
bread guy.
Even a bread guy. We'll take any starch. Just come on board. Any carbs are welcome here.
Yeah, including the gluten-free ones.
Any carb lover. So, but anyway, yeah, so there are multiple ways if you're somebody who thinks this is a great idea and you feel like we could be doing something to, I don't know, reach more people, reach out to John or me, and we'd love to have a conversation with you. So.
Okay, in the meantime, go to the webpage, right?
Yep. And then if you can't find your favorite company, you can order one from goldbelly.com. Wix Pies is on there, and they are going to donate all of their, I believe, all of their funds that they sell from Goldbelly. So that opens it up for the whole country.
Right.
You know,
The WHISK or WISK, do you know?
WICK, WICKS.
Okay.
And then you can, if you don't like pie, then send one to a friend, because I'm sure somebody wants a pie somewhere. It's better than flowers sometimes.
Yes. And
Well, it tastes better anyway.
much better. Thank you both for donations to Gabby for pie so she stays alive.
Well, speaking of being alive, I am happy to say, everybody, this is the first show, I believe, since Gabby's birthday. So everybody sing happy birthday to yourself in your house.
Yes.
Quietly. Her house is full of flowers.
And don't send flowers, please.
Don't send her flowers. She'll send them back.
No, just
make a donation in Gabby's name to PieDay4LA.
Or go buy a pie. Yes, either for one of the people who are participating. So anytime between now and March 14th, please help. And as you see all these disaster stories, whatever little bit we start out with, it goes for it and it helps.
It does. We're kind of kicking America in motion. We gotta stand up again and help each other out.
Okay, this is all about pie. But Hinman, do you want to say 2 words about Chow?
2 words. Chow, Culinary Hospitality Outreach and Wellness. That was 4. That's a nonprofit I started a few years before COVID to support mental health in the restaurant industry. So if you are suffering from the fires or just suffering in general and feel like you're alone, please check out co.org. There is 5 meetings a week. There's meetings for women, meetings in Spanish, meetings for men and women, meetings for men. There's talks from other chefs about some of the stuff they've been through in their lives. And anybody that shows up for a meeting is eligible for a free 10 hours of real therapy. So check it out. I know that it's helped thousands of people. So there's in-person meetings in other states as well, but most of the meetings are on the Zoom.
Okay, that covered it. Dini, no phone number to give, no address, just the webpage, right?
For now, the webpage is the easiest way to reach us. The email is piedayforla@gmail.com.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gmail.com.
Yes. Thank you. And yeah, that's probably the easiest way to reach us right now.
Well, go ahead, Hinman, go.
I was just going to repeat piedayforla.org and check us out on the Instagram. I've been making some fun videos
They are.
So check them out. If you have any suggestions, I'll do it. So
And if you need
yeah.
a videographer, he's available. And if you need a baker, you've got Dini or John. And if you need somebody who talks, you got me.
Got you.
I love you both. It's an incredible cause. It has been fun watching the two of you do this. You all are doing all the work. You're fabulous. To anybody who happens to be watching this, please like and subscribe to the Gab, GABB / Gourmet on YouTube. It's Gabby Gourmet on Instagram and Facebook. Dini, this will be up unedited as soon as we leave here. Look forward to maybe some warmer weather here, and I think in the east too. I love you dearly.
Thank you
Have a
so
great
much.
weekend.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Gabby. Thank you.
Much love. Bye bye.